this time I've done 2 beds, I've started the 3rd there, and what I'm going to introduce you to now is the wonderful stuff called manure. I just love it. But before we put a load on this bed, we need to just dig it through. You can see it's so much easier. If we come across any old roots, just pull them up and we'll get a bit of air into there. Any little weeds we can find we'll just pull up. It's made such a difference from how it was before. Any of these bits of grass that are in here, they're fine. Just leave them in there because they'll compost down. So we'll just go all the way through this, and then when we've done that, oh, there's one here, you see, look, there we are. When we've done that, we'll put the wonderful manure on, and I'll tell you all about manure in a minute. Right, I've dug over the whole patch, given it a little air, just dig down just a little way, just to break it up. And this is the wonderful stuff. Can you see that we're going to put on? Horse manure. This stuff is so underrated. It's wonderful. It doesn't smell like you would think it would. It smells kind of old and musty. But it's just absolutely fantastic. I picked this up from a stable just down the road, and it's free. You just go there with your spade and your bags, and you speak to the lovely people down there, and they say, yes, off you go. You need to pick manure. The darker brown it is, the better, because it means that the darker it is, that the more well rotted it is, and you don't need to dig a hole and leave it and let it, you know, get to this stage, because the pile there is just, oh, it's fantastic. Anyway, what there's in here is obviously horse poo. We've got some straw in here, and we've also got, they use wood chips as well. So what I'm going to do, a nice thick layer. Don't put just a little bit on, because to be honest with you, there is no point. Put loads on, and all we do is just spread it out and just leave it. So let's stick some on. Nice thick layer all over. Let's put a 3rd bag on. We'll just put it all down. You can use gloves if you want, but oh, I won't, because I just think it's fantastic. And we'll just spread it out all over the bed, to all the corners, nice and thick. There we are. Oh, fantastic. Look at this. Oh, lovely. And there. Let's give this a nice go over here, all the way into every single corner. Now, it goes quite a long way, this stuff, but be very generous with it. Don't be stingy. If it's free, spread it out. I think some stables actually do charge you for it, but try and find one that doesn't charge you. Now, the reason why I make this so thick is that it's just several reasons. First reason, it'll protect the soil. It'll give the soil all that goodness that it hasn't had for so many years. It'll put all that goodness, all this organics matter, all this wonderful stuff. It will put all the goodness. The worms will come up. It will, as the winter goes along, the worms will take all this manure, or an awful lot of it, down into the soil. And when we come to plant something in here next year, it will be superb soil. The soil itself is very, very nice. It's the perfect. It's not sandy, it's not clayey, it's just right. But this will make it so much better. Also, a nice thick layer of horse manure like this, it'll keep the soil warm. So if we do have a hard frost, which we're bound to, when we come to plant something very early on in the season, we won't have problems getting down into the soil. The manure will be frozen, and that will break up very, very easily. It'll also stop the weeds coming through, or a lot of them coming through. We'll still have some because the manure has made the soil really nice, but a lot of them will actually grow from the manure, so they're very easy to dig. The manure itself is actually about, most probably about 2.5, 3 inches thick, I suppose we're looking at here. And that's that's why we use it. It's good for the soil, the worms love it, it stops the weeds and it feeds the soil. Also, another thing, cats, dogs, foxes don't like the smell. So if you put this down, they tend not to dig it. But we'll soon see. There are some round here, so whether they're immune to it, I don't know. We'll soon see. But I've done that one bed, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do exactly the same on the other bed. I'm going to weed it, just give a little go through it, just to make sure that it's all good, and then I'll put more manure down. You can now see where this bed is, because the manure's on there. There's no getting it mixed up with the path, and that's the first one done. Leave that until next year, until we come to put something in there. Okay, right there. I've done the other one as well. Now, same thickness on that, so I'm just going to leave these ones now, do nothing with them, maybe the odd little bit of a weed, but no digging in or anything like that until next year. I'm also going to go back now to my other allotment. What I'm going to do there is I'm going to give the last strim of grass, once I've strimmed round a patch, one of the beds, I'm then going to manure those as well. I'll run out of manure and I'll have to go and get some more, but that's the whole point of it. You just keep going back and putting manure on every year. When the stuff's come out at this time, this is what I always do every single year. Go and get a load of manure, weed the beds, make them all tidy, and then manure them and leave them for the winter, and that's it, all done. So I'm going to go over there now and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye.